Well folks, how are we keeping? So, just out on my 4-hour long run now, so nice of you to join me. I've decided to record the episode of the podcast out on my run because firstly, I'm severely caught for time, but secondly, I've been wanting to record an episode for a while now, and because I am caught for time, I've been struggling, but also wanting things to be perfect as well has been an issue. Wanting things to, to be right. Proper prep done, proper everything, set up the whole shebang. And then I'm just finding a new excuse every time not to do it. So here we go. Out in the Curragh Wood. It's just before 11. Literally the very start of this run here. It's all uphill, so which is good for me. It's good practice because the 100k I'm doing in 6 weeks, the Kerry night, at the start there is a long incline, and when I did it last year everybody was running up it like lunatics because, as you would, like the start of your race, passing me out, which was hard not to run, but I kept walking as that's my game plan. Walk, power hike the ups, shuffle the downs and the flats. Anyways, so this is good training for me from the off, and a few of you listen to this, if anyone's listening to this, you'll know that I have a podcast set up for a while now. I just haven't recorded in a while. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all my previous episodes and just let this be episode 1. I don't know, I just think it's the right thing to do. Start afresh with this kind of new approach and new direction with it as well. So the podcast, the Wipe My Own Ass podcast, essentially is something I named because I want to be running over hills and wipe my own ass till the day I die. So that obviously I want to be out doing the ultra running stuff, but in a way that I can always do it. I want to be up over mountains when I'm 75, 80 if I'm very lucky to reach that age. So I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to record or talk about as such. I just said I'd hit the record and get the episode out. It won't be too long because I haven't prepped. I don't want to just waffle on and talk shite for half an hour or whatever. So we'll see as we go. I'm also swapping hands here now as well because my shoulders get tired from holding the camera up, so we'll see. I didn't think about that part at all today. Out running with the camera up for fucking 20 minutes and half an hour, so we'll see how we get on. No Beamish today, as we are in the heat of the day. He would run himself dead, like, you know what I mean? If I brought him out, he'd have no bother at all. So I have to protect him and keep him in. So just me on my own, which is actually kind of shit really. I went out last week for a 3-hour run. I missed him so much, it's unbelievable. And I was always used to running on my own, but I've gotten used to now having him with me. So we're 6 weeks out from Kerry, and the plan will be to get into the 3 5-hour runs before then. They'll be my longest runs, and the plan is to get down to Kerry and run the course a little bit as well before the race. I was going to go down today, but I couldn't make it happen. Just too much time, and I had too much stuff to do to get organised. So I had to just make do with the Curragh. I'll do like a loop here. The old loop I used to do would take an hour, so I'd do 4 loops for 4 hours. We found, Killian actually found another section of road to extend it, so about 1 hour and 20 a loop. And what I'm going to do today as well is what I'm going to do for the next few weeks is anytime I come across a long incline, I'm going to power hike to the top, shuffle my way back down, power hike back up, and then continue on. So basically doing like a bit of a hill repeat as such, but nice and handy. Like, it's not, your normal intense full-on hill repeat. So that'll add a bit of time as well and extra elevation. The kind of 1 hour loop around here is about 300 meters of elevation, which is quite good, like. So I'll add on some more. So for the 4 hours, I should be getting above about 1500 meters, hopefully. The Kerryway night itself, I think it's 2,500 meters elevation total. I was working it out there the other day. It's like 40 meters elevation per kilometre it averages out as. It's actually not the hilliest 100k you'll ever do, to be honest. It is actually quite fast. So I should be well prepared running in these woods anyway, you know. In the pouch then, so carrying on me at the minute, right? I have enough for 2 hours, and then I have stuff packed in the van. So you'll see here in the front I have 2 bottles. One bottle has 50 grams of Alter speed dust in it, the lemon flavour. The other then is 500 mils of just water on its own. So that's a litre of fluid and 50 grams of carbs. And then I have a banana in this pocket here, which will bump it up to about 75 grams of carbs total. And in the other pouch then, in the back, I have again the same, so water and Alter speed dust for 50 grams. And then a Rice Krispie square bar. I have 2 of them actually, but I'll just take the one. And that'll be about 80 grams of carbs. I always top tip. I always go for the eat the banana in the first hour because it gets quite mushy and blackish the longer you leave it in there. So top tip there for you. But after 2 hours I go back and swap out my nutrition. I'll restock up, and for the 3rd hour I'll be having no sweet stuff, giving my taste buds a break, so hopefully I can continue on taking this stuff long into the race. And so I'll just have some water, and I have like a jam sandwich there. That'll do me for hour 3, and then hour 4 I'm kind of back to the normal stuff. I have a bit of carb drink, water, and rice cakes. I have rice cakes, so I'll have 2 or 3 of those. And again, that'll be about that 75-80 grams of carbs, and we'll see how to get on with that. Now, look, I could actually get away without taking anything for the first hour, start taking on nutrition, and then not really taking anything for the last hour because I'm stopping afterwards, and that would be fine for training. But it's not really practicing for the race then, you know what I mean? I want to take stuff on for 4 hours and then see how the body kind of reacts to it. That's the main thing, especially since the Alter stuff as well, the speed dust, is actually new for me, so I really need to test that stuff out, you know. So that's my nutrition for the run. My tactics, like I say, will essentially just be taking it nice and easy. It's a nice easy long run. The hills, as you can see, coming up a big one here now. I'll probably repeat this one, and just kind of walking up it. And some of you may be shocked to hear this, but I generally don't track my heart rate, not on runs anyway. I just go purely off of how I feel. Like right now, my heart rate is just going off my watch, which is wrong. It says it's 70 beats, which it's not. It's much higher, because I'm going up a very steep hill. But I only keep an eye on my heart rate for tracking long term. So maybe if there's some signs of overtraining, I can have a look at my resting heart rate over the last few weeks or months. Just things like that. I started not tracking my heart rate when I was doing these long races, and I wanted my watch battery to last. So basically I'd go out on a race and I'd turn everything off on the watch, and all I was tracking was time and distance. That was it. And that way then my battery would last for ages. And just by doing that, I realised it was much better crack, more enjoyable, more present, taking in my surroundings, actually feeling my body, listening to my body, and understanding the feedback and actually hearing the feedback, as opposed to feeling in one way but the data saying a different way, you know. So I had a Whoop there as well. I think I had it for about a couple of months, and I got rid of it as well. Not a big data guy. I was just doing my head in, constantly telling me that I needed to improve here or improve there, when I felt differently or I knew differently. I don't know. I think they're a net positive. I'm not knocking them at all, and I absolutely have my clients track heart rate in the beginning, especially. Now I'm doing this nearly 10 years. I tracked heart rate for about 8 or 9 years. Do you know what I mean? So I know myself kind of inside and out at this stage, how I'm recovering and how I'm operating and performing as such. I'll know when I'm out. I don't need my heart rate monitor to tell me if I'm pushing too hard going up a hill, or if I'm pushing too hard in a race in general. I'll know at this stage if I am or not. So just because I do it doesn't mean you have to do it. That goes for any clients as well that are watching this or listening. It's not me telling you that you have to do it a certain way. Just how I do it for me currently, because that works for me, that's all. And that goes with all my stuff in general, right? I never post stuff or think about stuff or say stuff because I believe it should be done that way by everybody. Far from it. You've got to listen to what anybody says. I don't care who they are, from the top of the top to the most inexperienced people talking. Listen to what they have to say, absolutely. Try some shit out if you think it sounds good. If it works, brilliant. Test it again, test it again, test it again. If it keeps working, fucking brilliant. Keep it. But if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't automatically mean that it's shit advice or it's bad. You may just need to alter it slightly. That's all. And go again and test it. And test it and test it and test it. And if it doesn't work for you, even though it may sound like the best advice ever, just shit can it, get rid of it. If it does work for you, brilliant. You may have found a new way to improve your own performance and make your life that bit more comfortable for when you're out in the trails. And that's generally my approach to all of this. I read the books, I listen to the podcasts, I take the courses because I'm a coach. You don't have to take the courses. And I take all that information and I kind of mesh it in with what I've learned over the years from my own performances, and also then from working with different people. You know, it's I can't take information that has been found from a study that was done on, college age athletes over in the US and apply those findings then to a 45-year-old father of 4 kids, you know what I mean, who's working 6 days a week and who's just trying to complete his first ultramarathon, get over the finish line. That's his goal, like lifelong dream. I can't just apply information I've taken that I've heard on a reel, I read in a book, or even read on a course, I studied on a course, and just apply it to them. A good coach knows how to take that information and to dissect it, to take what's good and maybe test it on him, give it to him, try it out, see how he gets on with it, but then just get rid of the shit that's unnecessary, that would do him harm. Unfortunately, there's a lot of knowledgeable coaches and people on here, and on the online space especially, who they just cite the research, they just cite the science, which is not necessarily a bad thing. We absolutely have to do studies and figure shit out properly by people who are educated, of course, but you've then got to be able to take that information and make it work in real life for real people. So that's generally my approach. I don't think anything is ever right or wrong. There's obviously dangerous advice and dangerous shit you can be doing, of course, but I think we should be more open to all ideas and maybe new methods. Test them out for yourself and see what works, you know. So going back up this hill now, starting to regret my decision already of repeating the hills, but this will be really good actually, you know what, and mindset wise as well, it kind of gets you over that fact of, I don't know, like I've always kind of embraced the hills when I'm out racing and training. I think if you're going to do mountain running, you have to, and this is a good way to embrace it further, lean into the suffering and the hard aspects of it. Now, as well as the uphills, I think for the inexperienced runners amongst us, you'll often fear the uphills first, you know, when you're new to it. But I think the more experienced you get, then it's the downhills you realise are the most treacherous. It can really make shit of you if you're not used to navigating the downhill sections, so coming down the mountains, the quads especially. It's just something you don't think of, but it's something you need to train in equal measure. So going up hills, power hiking, not running, not blowing yourself out, and then when you get to the top, have the energy not to just come down it as quick as you can, but to come down it in a controlled manner, you know, so you don't blow your quads up. And too often I see are people bounding up the hills, and then when they get to the top and it's time to make up the time to get down it, you know, they're so fucked, they're hunched over and they start walking at the top of the hill and they're losing out massive time. I saw a video recently where some dude, it was really good, he tested it. So he power hiked the up and he ran the up. Now he was a serious runner. He ran up it no problem, like a kilometre up the hill, up the side of a mountain. And then he tested it on the other side, as in coming down the hill nice and handy, but coming down the hill like a really quality run, you know, really good technical ability. And the time made up on the other side was just crazy compared to the time made up coming up the hill, you know what I mean? I wish I could remember that video better and who exactly did it, but it was a very good insight. I think maybe kind of obvious too. I'm sure I'm not saying anything absolutely shocking here, you know what I mean? But just something to be mindful of. Like when I did the Kerryway night last year, the 100k, 200 metres in, you get to an incline, everybody running past me, it was horrible, I just kept walking. But when I got to the first stile, I think it's about a kilometre or two in, the lads that caught up behind me, they were bucketing in sweat, huffing and puffing. It was unbelievable. I remember looking back because you couldn't, you know, it was dark, so I was helping them get over the stile, you know. And Jesus Christ, the sweat. In my head I was like, mate, you're like 1 or 2 kilometres into 100k. You should be smiling and joking and looking around, bimbling. That's my whole attitude. I take off on these things as if I'm just going out on a walk. No excitement, none of that. I'm just stepping off and I'll gradually get going. Now, one of the things here as well, at this particular start line, it started to drizzle about 10 minutes out, and everyone started getting the rain jackets on, and it wasn't a cold night at all. Like, it wasn't cold, and there wasn't much cloud above us at all. Like, it was only going to be a small shower. So I'd say about 90% of the gang took off wearing their rain jackets, and I knew like within 200 meters you're going to be sweating your tits off, because it was such a warm night. So again, just some experience. And listen, lads, that was me before, do you know what I mean? I'm not, sorry, I was just checking there, I thought I stopped recording, but I'm not judging or anything like that. It was literally me, do you know what I mean? So just something to think about. I just stayed there in my t-shirt, and it got a little bit wet, yeah, but I mean, it was gone in 5 minutes. By the time we stepped off, it wasn't even really raining, but gang had put their jackets on, so they didn't want to have to take their packs back off, and you know, at the start line, so they just kind of tore on. And then actually at that first style, everyone was pulled in, ripping the jackets off, because they were absolutely dying of death, you know. Just coming down the big hill now into Beamish's river. He normally runs down here and is drinking out of the river. Today, out for the 4-hour run. I got about 6 weeks to carry away. I'd like to get in maybe 2 or 3 5-hour runs. I might even do a back-to-back long run where I get out the next day and do a couple of hours if I can fit it in. But for me at the minute, guys, it's time. Like, I'm doing a 4-hour long run here at 11 o'clock on a Friday. I'll try and fit in 90 minutes on Sunday. If the sauna is quiet, I'll close up for 2 hours. Do you know what I mean? In the heat of the day, because it's the only time I can get out. That kind of stuff. And look, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect at all. But I'm going to make it work. And at the end of the day, I'll look back. I won't remember this. Do you know what I mean? It'll just be, got my 100k experience in again. So I'll be delighted with that. Just know, like, that it doesn't always have to be perfect, yeah? Sometimes you're training for a race, you just gotta get it fucking done, any which way you can. You may not show up in the peak physical condition, but you'll show up in the best condition you could have showed up in. You'll be fit, you'll be healthy. At the end of the day, it's all about having a bit of a laugh, you know? I think sometimes we take all this stuff a bit too seriously anyway. You know, trying to get personal bests and hit specific training sessions and specific times and nutrition down to the grams and everything. But like, we're not going to look back years from now, and when we're talking about it, when our kids ask us about it, grandkids ask us about it, we're not going to remember any of this fucking half the bullshit we stress about, you know. It's going to be all about the experience, you know. Back 20 years ago, I fucking ran 100k down the mountains in Kerry. Before that, I ran 200k's. After that, I ran this fucking race, you know? So, try not to stress too much about it all. I'm actually getting up to the top of this hill now, so I need to go back down it again. But, so, I've Kerry in 6 weeks. I'm thinking of doing the Arc of Attrition in January. People keep telling me it's too brutal, you know. It's a 100-miler in the UK in over by Cornwall, so pretty horrific conditions. But I think I need the challenge, you know. Not that I want to get ahead of myself, but like the Kerry Way now in September, it doesn't strike fear into me. You know, I've done the race twice before. I've done the 200 and the 100. Yeah, on the day something may go wrong, I may not even finish the race, who knows. But it's not striking fear into me. I know that if everything goes half well, I'll get around it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this one in January, it could be 50-50, you know, that I even get around the thing, like so. And I'd have to learn a lot too. I haven't raced properly in the winter. I haven't spent much time in the rough winter conditions really since my army days, which I kind of miss, having that fear almost around the challenge. So and we're at the bottom, so I'll go back up now. So I think that might be my next race after. I'll have to learn loads there, which is fantastic. I can kind of document it all, I can talk about it, I can share it on here. And look, I'm now 25 minutes in, I won't stay on now too much longer. I think with the podcast going forwards, I've always wanted to do longer form content. The short form stuff I love sharing, on Instagram and stuff. But look, I've said this before, it's catchy, you have to grab people's attention, it's short, it's no nuance to it. Like, I have a topic I want to talk about, and before I even talk about it I have to think, right, what's going to stop people now from scrolling? Like, what do I need to say in the first sentence to get them interested? In industry terms it's called a hook. You have to hook their attention in the first 1 to 3 seconds, visually or verbally, or else they're gone, And it kind of turns the video into a gimmick then from the off, at least in my head. It's not authentic, Whereas I think the longer form stuff is, I can cover topics in more detail. Also, it'll help me learn topics in more detail. So, that's 25 minutes in there now. And that was my first sup of carb drink. So I kind of slackened there now. Too much talking. I should have been sipping already, so playing catch up there now straight away. Had my breakfast this morning. Then I went and had another portion of breakfast because I had to delay my run. And then before I stepped off, I had a little snack there as well. So that's my first thing there now, nearly a half an hour into the run. So with the podcast going forward, that's the plan. I want to share everything endurance, but also lifestyle, because like the running and the nutrition side of things is only a fraction of it, really, isn't it? There's a lot more that goes to it to manage it amongst everything else we have going on. The responsibilities, the work, the family, the stress, our emotions, everything. The finance side of things as well. It can be a fucking expensive sport as well, So just trying to manage it all, especially me now at the minute. I'm running 2 businesses, so I had the new sauna business that I opened down in Ardmore Beach, which has been going really well. But it takes you're working 100 hours a week on it, which is expected when you start a new business. I'm not complaining about it. It's not perfect at the minute. We have a lot of work to do, but we're getting there. And then I have obviously the coaching business as well, so I do coach clients. I'm at kind of a good number now at the minute, but I am. Sorry, my phone is the emergency fucking thing dialing in there in the pocket. So the coaching side of things, quite happy with my numbers at the minute. But come September, I am going to start actively taking on more people. I want to help more people with their running. I spent probably the first 3.5 years of my coaching business helping predominantly your everyday person, general weight loss, things like that. And over the last year and a half, I've got more into the endurance side of things because that's where my passion is. I always just felt like, for a long time, that who would hire me as a coach? You know what I mean? When there's so many good available options out there, amongst the ultra running space. Anyways, I'm forgetting all that shit now, and I'm just gonna coach mostly endurance runners. I'll always help people with other goals if I believe in their vision and what they're hoping to do. If I believe in it, I have to be passionate about it, about their specific goals or whatever, or the project, But from now, I really want to start working and helping more people get into ultra endurance, because it's been life-changing for me. I wouldn't be running 2 businesses now if I never I started doing endurance sport. Never. Before I did any of this, up until I was 30, I never did anything. You know, I never ran, drank, did all sorts of stupid shit. But it was taking up endurance sport is what changed it all for me. Everything across the board, from my character to my fitness to my mental health to my ambitions to my goals, starting businesses, forming proper relationships, having a vision for my life, and not having principles and having values, and not swaying from those like I used to all the time when I was younger. I was visionless and principleless, if that's even a word, and had fuck all values outside of the wrong stuff. So that's what I want to do. I want to help people. I'm currently working on building out. I want to build out a signature program. I think it would get me in front of more people, giving it like a name. It would build up more hype, and more hype is good because it just means I get in front of more people, and the more people I'm in front of is the more people I can help. At the moment, I'd say half the people that follow me don't even know I coach, because I get messages all the time about it. So I need to kind of up my game on the coaching side of things and the professional side of things, and put together something proper. Now, it's still always going to be me coaching one-to-one. I'm not talking about setting up an app now and giving people cookie cutter programs. Never. I want to work with the individuals, which means my numbers will always be limited to how many I can take on, because I only have so much time. But working with the person is what I'm motivated by. I want to know you, the individual, and everything about you and your journey, and I want to help you when you're in the trenches, you know, help you get out the other side and go on and do some of the shit I've done, and hopefully it can improve your life the way it can improve mine. So that's my hope with the coaching, and I'll be sharing all that stuff actually on the podcast here every week. I'm going to fucking do it now consistently. For people who've listened to me before, I appreciate you for coming back and listening again, because you have no reason to. I don't deserve it. You know, I posted and I said I'd post and I haven't fucking posted, so I absolutely appreciate you. And to anyone new that's listening as well, thank you so much. I can't tell you what it means. So I hope this was in some way decent and worth watching or listening to. I don't know if I'll do the podcast on my long run every week. Maybe I should. Maybe it's a good idea. Let me know. I'll be putting one out anyway. Maybe I'll do it on the long run. I love feedback as always. How was it? Did you enjoy it? Was it a pile of shite? Was it cohesive? Coherence? I don't know. Could you make sense of it? Not cohesive, then that was definitely the wrong word. Was it incoherent or was it coherent? That's the words I'm looking for. Let me know. And if there's anything you ever want to know about, have any questions, endurance, lifestyle related, business related, anything. Maybe you want to talk to somebody about coaching, we can certainly talk. I mightn't be taking anybody on until after September, after my race, but I certainly have no problem at all talking and giving you advice and helping you now if that's something you need. So thanks very much. See you in the next one.